Oh, didn't see you there. It's me, Thomas Edward, and you find me stood in front of Netherwood Hotel and Spa, open to non-residents. In a normal day, like tomorrow, for an example, I could not stand here without getting run over by the X6 bus to Kendal or a load of cars, and I'm currently stood in the middle of the road. Grange Over Sands is having some maintenance done in the town, just up there. And we're going to show you or see if there's any activities. This video can be a complete waste of time. There'll be nothing going on, or there might be some guys in high-vis like myself in the same attire and some big machines doing a bit of tarmacking or such similar things, or a bit of potholing. So let's go and see if we can find anything. But it might be a bit cold. I think I've just seen a bit of snow on Lens, so we'll try and get something filmed. Oh, just walking in mid-up roads. It's not every day in tea. I wouldn't advise this on any other normal day in Grange Over Sands, but on the 11th of April 2022 you can do it with yours truly TE. But sod's law, a cow turn up now and ruin that whole image. But at the moment we're doing well. I'm in the middle of the road. This is an accident black spot here at Netherwood. You come out of here and you can't see either left or right, and lots of cars smash into each other. But not today, because it's shut. Oh, it's all quiet at station yard garage, you see. Keith, headman, we'd be normally in here at this time with Noel or JJ doing a bit of scrub-a-dub-dub with TE in his £1 car wash. If you're in line for a bit of classic or modern classic motoring in Grange Over Sands, or you live in the area and you've got a bit of dosh in your hand, for £3,995 there's a Mark IV Ford Escort in blue, really low spec car, but I think it's been a garage queen, or it's been a one owner car since new, and it's a G-Reg, so that's like 1988-89. And you could get that, and you could take it to local car shows, and you get lots of interest. It's a good deal at Keith's garage, station yard garage. Oh, the X6 bus has just come past, and a bit of nerdy Mark 1 Optare action, I think that is. Well, it's April 2022 and the Spa garage has not arrived. We've still got the Age UK Superstore. What I have to say is moved up to the old goods shed, or actually where the Tommy train used to be kept. The Kendal train is up there, just the other side of station yard garage, but we haven't got a Spa yet, so we can't fuel up. It's still a derelict building with some Harry's fencing at the front, so no update there for you. Wow. Urgent road repairs, no through road, Monday the 11th of April, 8 PM to 12 AM, and it's nearly 12 AM now. This is TE, how dedicated he is. He didn't get out the door fast enough. So they're probably finishing up shop now, and road closed, and the sign's been moved across, but there's a few cars that have gone through what have come back. They haven't gone all the way through. And we know a guy's car up there, and he lives on the other side of town. Knows he's parked there for the night and walked up through town because he can't get up. So yeah, there's a car there, he lives up the other end of town. So we can see some flashing lights up there, but we might sneak through the park and look up over the wall maybe, or we might have a dog up the other side of the road and film as we go past, like a POV, walk by POV, with TE's cameraman. That was one tip has come down, so they must be doing a bit of tarmac, and I can see some more flashing lights up here. Oh, I think we're getting near the action. I can see one of those road sweepers or a sucker upper with TE and some other machine and a road close sign, another one. And obviously this is where the cars are getting to and turning around. And there was a car coming up the side of us then. I don't know if he's turned around, I don't know where he's gone. So yeah, it's just near the exit for the car park what comes out the bottom of the Commodore, as in the pub. The TE chair, look, this is perfectly made for TE, so you can do a bit of dogging at the Roadworks in Grange Over Sands. I'm going to have a bit of showbiz like ta-da! With TE. Look, check it out. The king of all mighty things. Right, so we've come to a dead end. I don't think we could get up the main street, because if you look behind me, to me right shoulder, it's quite busy up the main street. Up past Village Hall and that, and we used to be old plod shop for a bit, and the Estuary Cafe's restaurant is just up round there. So we're going to walk up through the woods up there, and through the car park on top, and down to where the Keg and Kitchen is, or the Sands pub, and look down at it and see what we can see from there, and see if we can get a better angle of TE. See, TE brings you all the good angles in Grange Over Sands and give you up to live updates. Going up through the woods here, there's lots of garlic about. We should never eat garlic next to the path, because the dogs have always weed on it. So you're going to go in the bush in there, get some fresh stuff. It was nice, if you had smelly vision, you could smell it now, TE. In the top car park now of Grange Over Sands. That house there has just had a load of money spent on it. So the new driveway put in. It's got a great view over the bay he has. But in here, always parked in here, and I think the owner of the house owns it, is a facelift Rover 75 on a 2005 plate. So a few Rover TE fans would appreciate that. I think he's got a B&W diesel in it, that one. There's some nice lights in the tree here. TE Towers has a few lights in the tree at various times of the year, but we have multicoloured ones, we do. You can't beat a well illuminated bush, because if you have more lights, the better it always is with TE, because you can light the way into imagination. Oh, there's a roller here, and a couple of vans. It's on an hour edge. 1993. Some whopper that is. Just think, that's 1993. Probably 30 years before that was built. We're probably still just about, maybe a bit more than that actually, maybe 35 years ago. Prior to 1993, when that was built, we were still using steam power to roll tarmac. Bit like Fred Dibner's steamroller. We're going to actually go up to the clock tower, and there's some seats you can sit on. See if we get a better bird's eye view of the roads. They've blocked it off with some house fencing. They are doing work to the tower. To the clock tower, 1912. Well, it wouldn't have been any good anyway, because even in the garden with the chairs, you can't see anything anyway. So we've got to go down to the roundabout down there and look down. You see the old bank there. Getting a load of renovation. David J. Robinson. A lady who used to live technically next door to me owns that now. Is doing it up. Got a bit of cash doing it up. It's going to be a house out of an old bank. As you can see, the centre of Grange Over Sands is pretty much dead. Post office is around there. Keg and Kitchen. Not Dobson's. He's a removal man. He is. He's made a bit of cash through lockdown removing people's furniture. And that's pretty much it. And one car. And I'm stood in the middle of the road in Grange Over Sands. But to be honest, Grange Over Sands is quiet. 12 months of the year anyway this time, but not this quiet. This is quiet. Oh yeah, they're doing a bit of tarmacking. I think there's a roller down there and a sweeper. Just think if we had a Canon with us now, we'd have a bit better zoom to show you. We could zoom right down there and give you a piece of the action, as they'd say, but not tonight. Just think, me and the cameraman have a good friend who all those flashing lights in the van, and down there the row of the blue lights and the flashing lights and the normal lights actually he's a head management of a big dealership kind of thing, what supplies those lights for Roadworks railways. So he could have passed those lights with his tick on a bit of paper somewhere, and it's there looking at TE. And then when we were walking down the bottom, they had Scottish accents. Now the road workers were doing a lot of roads up here recently, and they did in front of TE Towers. Oh, hey, oh, there's a car here. Young lads have got some expensive. That was a brand new Hyundai Sports, or Kia I think it was. No, it's a Hyundai. Got some cash round Grange, you know. But that's spoiled his day. He can't get down. He's got to go round. He's got to go up the fell and round the back. Well, you don't think you get this every day on another channel. Thomas Edwards here. He's going to take you down a back passage in Grange Over Sands to get you a better angle of the live action in Grange Over Sands. So let's go. And it's dark, so we need a torch. So it's a proper passage when you need a torch to get down it. There's no natural light or street light. Now this is the old, this used to go down across the railway at the bottom onto the prom, but it's now defunct and shut. There goes some more building work on the old bank. What one of my next door neighbours owns now. Look, little garage there, look. TE could fit his Rolls Royce maybe in there, tuck it away in there. So behind this wall here somewhere, you probably see the roof of it there, and the chimney, is the old crossing keeper's house for this crossing here on Furnace Line. What house is defunct now. It's been shut about 5 or 6 years now. I remember walking across there with TE's mum. Oh yeah, it's completely locked, and it's even got screws in it. You know, it's done a good job to stop scroats or scallywags getting over it, you see, and getting run over by train. It's unmanned now. But just think, if it was in Yorkshire at Knaresborough, I know it has a signal box next to it, but they'd probably have a man on it so you could still use it. And look over here, they've even took the boarding out for crossing. So it's just some old gates now, some fences and a track. And as the key eye will be seen there, you see in the middle, the tracks, there's obviously a dead pigeon, poor pigeon. There's wooden sleepers. It's concrete ones here, and then it stops, and there's about 10 or 12 wood sleepers, and obviously that's where the crossing boards, planks used to be, and it's still wood underneath, because they wouldn't have ripped it up to put the concrete ones in. So there you go, a bit of nerdy furnace line action there. And if they rip them up and within the next 10 years, they will end up in someone's garden as a shed, a compost area, or they'll use it to put the car on, or it'll be put on someone's fire. Could be TE's fire. So let's go down there. And this is the old crossing keeper's cottage. There you go, crossing cottage. It's even got its sign on it. This will bring us underneath the Commodore, this will. The Commodore pub, where half of Grange Over Sands, if you're local, goes drinking, but not the TE family, because none of us are drinkers. We actually stay in, watch TV, and have a cup of tea with a hobnob. That's the way to do it. except if your tea's brother likes good pints, he likes a scoop or two. And there is a TE uncle who likes a scoop, and he does like the Commodore. It's one of his favourite pubs when he comes staying up. So there is part of the family like a few scoops, but not in the TE towers. Wow, look at these, pretty cool. Double garage, and some like half-size single garages. Wow, we could have all the TE fleet underneath of here. Oh, you can hear some whackering going over. The rollers have a whackerer underneath, or it vibrates the wheels to get it nice and flat. So that's what's going on there. There's a Commodore up there with their brand new balcony on the second floor. It's all looking very shiny, so in the summer you can get up there with your Carlsberg and, you know, look over the bay and talk nonsense. I think that's what you're meant to do. And then here is that young lad who I think he works at garage. He's got a Mark II Golf. There you go, Bayview rooms. So you can have a kip of tea and a coffee in there and a cake. And that's quite a famous place in Grange, isn't it? Maybe that's for we could maybe do if you'd like this. Comment below if you'd like to see the heritage of Grange Over Sands below in the comments. We could walk around and tell you about all the different plaques around Grange Over Sands with their history connected to the buildings. Maybe we'll do a Stephen Cheatley on that, but in Grange Over Sands. So this behind us, this grand old building, you think it's a church or a hall, but actually it used to, well, it probably was originally something like that, or a Quaker house, but it was, for a very long time, it was Barclays Bank, and it probably was another bank before that. I remember going in there with T's mum, and when you went in, you always looked up, because it had a wonderful ceiling in it. But in the beginning of sort of lockdown, 2020, it sold for about 130,000, and now it's been turned into a private dwelling, and it's got a driveway on the back and loads of shrubbery and stuff. And I think T's cameraman went, that was a good buy. Whoever got that did a very good job, but obviously he's probably spent a couple $100,000 doing it up. But it's a good thing. I think it used to have a garage on the back and he knocked it down. I remember it was more enclosed on the back than it used to be. But now that's 2 banks, or maybe no, 3 banks. There's a Costa Fortune in the middle of town, what used to be a bank. There's Barclays, and then the one at the top, what used to be, I think, NatWest at the top, what an old T Neighbours converting. So all the banks in Grange Over Sands have magically disappeared overnight, and we have no more banks now, and you've got to travel to Carforth or Kendal or going to Ulverston to do your banking. And this one behind us it was sort of a bank. It was like a building society bank, actually. The cameraman just reminded me. And in here, the cellar in here, a certain David Bleasdale, who's a big TE fan and lives in Lancaster area, actually did some building work in the cellar with his dad back in the day, as did say. And so actually we had quite a lot of things in. I was just about to say, Grange Over Sands has a population of 50 plus, and he took all the banks out, and all the people at 50 plus don't do online banking, so they've got to get on the bus now, so it's ridiculous, you know. And there's T's probably youngest lad in the town. Well, there's probably a few more young ones, but there's a lot of 50 plus people live here and they can't do banking anymore. They've got to go online, and obviously when your TE's mum's age, they can't do anything with the internet, you know. As they say, I think, is it a Luddite when you don't want to do anything with modern tech? So I want to walk up through now from where the old, where the village hall is, down past the Estuary restaurant. There you go, they put in the they're putting like the base coat in, but I think it's actually brand new tarmac they're putting on. So they've dug it up tonight. No, I'm right. It's the base coat. So they've got to do several layers of tarmac to get it up to the original standard. But they're doing it in like, there's a bit of lump here they've done, and then they've done quite a lot up the main street. So they're doing it in sections where the rough bits are. They're not doing a complete sweep. They're only doing 3/4 of it, I think. So there you go. That's a live roadworks update from Grange Over Sands. Stood in the front of the very expensive estuary restaurant where it's always rammed, but it's not a TE price, I can tell you that. I'd rather go and get a bacon butty at Truckhaven and Carnforth. That's how the TE rolls, that is. So there you go. It's a live update of TE. And this old house across the road over here is actually the proper original plod shop of Grange Over Sands when it was really, really small. And this is all the houses in Grange Over Sands. There you go, and you get a gauge of price. That one's £1 million there. And Highfield Road, £1.1 million with a double garage, 2 bathrooms, 2 sitting rooms and 3 bedrooms, but it's probably got loads of land with it. That one's up near the Box Bank. That's 695. That's a flat church road. That's an hour freight just outside Grange. That's 150. It's not too bad. 175. That's up near the Box Bank as well. Sunnydale. That's Cark and Cartmore. 360. And that's our freight as well. Look, 335. There's nothing up there. Look, looking to sell your home. It's all Easter things. Let's go and have a look in the next window up here. 300,000 in Grange Over Sands. Bowling Bridge. Hey, hold on. Bowling Bridge. It's a lot of money for 1 bedroom, that, and the garage. But I was just thinking, oh, there's another one up. 300,000 for a 2 bedroom. Where's that? Sonny Bank. Our freight. And then 240. That's in the Box Bank as well. 240. So it's if you've got a bungalow, you're in for a chance of having a load of cash. And if you've got a terrace house, you haven't got a lot of money in Grange, but it's to do with parking and garages and all sorts of stuff. But there's a lot of houses getting snapped up in Grange at the moment, turned into holiday homes and Airbnb. You know, people making serious dosh. So they buy that for 300,000, and then in a few more years' time, it will double that with the amount of people they're having staying in it. But the walls in this are normally all stacked. There's normally houses all along there. You can actually some houses in the background, but that's the most expensive. Highfield Road is £1.1 million. So there you go. There you have it, as you'd say. That's the road closed. That's the end of sort of the street, and that's sort of the main street up there. And there you go. They're doing a bit of tarmacking here and there. They're not doing the complete shebang. They're just doing a 3/4 job. It's probably they've only got so much of that to do it. And there you go. That's a live update on the 11th of April, turning into the 12th of April 2022. Grange Over Sands. Doing a bit of road maintenance, spending Cumbrian Council or South Lakes County Council cash, because they got quite a lot of £1 million worth of cash to do the roads in South Lakes and Cumbria last year. So it's probably the last of it. That's why they're only doing 3/4 of the road. The last few pennies in the jar, and they probably, because they're coming up to the tax year thing, they've got to spend the money so they can get more money the next year to do even more roadworks. So there you have it. It's a live update, and if we get anything else roadworks or something on a TE night out on a walk, we'll film it as well. So there you go. And we're just going to go down here and top of the duck pond there, what's behind camera, along the side of the railway to Grange Over Sands railway station. Or maybe we might finish it there on Endit station. Ding. So I think it's this seat here, or it could have been that seat, or the seat behind camera where we sat that very cold night in 2020. I think, yeah, 2020, back in the 2020, where we filmed a very early Thomas Edward video called Night Freight, and on the thumbnail it had a big steam engine in it with lots of smoke coming out of it and steam, and we filmed a load of class 66s or class 60s coming through with ballast wagons. And I think Mark Waterman, that's associated with Pete Waterman, that's where we found the TE channel. That was the first video I ever found, and we watched them come through here. We filmed one here, and then we went to the other end of the station and filmed on there, and we were filming on my Canon with, back then, my brand new Rode Wireless Go mic, and it was the first tryout, and I think it was the first video with my Canon 80D as well, so it was a proper combo outing of the new equipment. Now we're a whole year later, well over 12 months later, I'm on a different camera now with a light and a different mic. So we've come 14 months later with a totally different equipment on the Thomas Edward channel for these night shoots, because we've got good low light now and a super duper light. So there you go. We've got the whole showbiz setup with TE. And tonight it's very quiet. There is a train sort of due going to Barrow soon. And that's about it, but we'll probably end up going home by then, because T's mum will be wondering where her son is. You know, got to keep tabs with your mum and say I'm here. So yeah, let's get back. But we'll do an ending somewhere. I've had to come in here because, as you can see by that sign, it's a bit blowy tonight. Oh, it stopped it now. It's sad though it stopped, but that was just blowing around, making a lot of squeaking and moaning noises. And that's the Grange Over Sands railway sign there, just like that one over there. And so we're coming here because it's less blustery with tea to do me ending. So, but actually, before I do this ending, on this very station here, on these benches, in the summer I might say it has a very serious wasp infestation. Like, you can't sit in here with anything sweet because you get swarmed to death by lots of wasps. On here, I don't know whereabouts she sat, I can't quite remember, but Victoria Wood, who's no longer with us anymore, sat on here. So a bit of showbiz on Grange Over Sands station. Portello went through on the train on here, so a bit more show business. But Victoria Wood actually had a house about 2 to 3 miles away from T Old Towers, pre-2021. And you go past and sometimes you see lights on and go, is she in there, when she was still alive? And then one year, my friend actually went, he fitted, at the time he fitted oil tanks, heating tanks. He actually did a bit of work for her, his boss. Got the job, do a bit of work at her house, and he was putting in, I think he was inside doing stuff, I can't remember what he was doing, something to do with heating anyway, and he was in there, and I think Victoria Wood, a few days after you were up there doing the work, said, whatever you do not sit on that chair. And there's like a little wicker chair, nothing special to write home about, but it's just a little wicker chair, and she said, do not sit on that, because it was owned by John Lennon, and I think it was like 15 grand plus. It might have been in 50 grand if it was anything associated with John Lennon. But the thing is, the time she said that, my friend had been sitting on it 2 days before, eating his sandwiches on it, and knew nothing about it. So he'd been sitting on John Lennon's chair, which was worth 15 plus, and she said, don't sit on it. But obviously he'd sat on it with his sandwich, with he's another tea friend, likes his flat cap, sat there and sat some sandwiches. There you go. All happens in Cumbria. Yeah, and as a TE, like, I don't know if my friend even uses this word, but if a TE was there, he'd be eating a good fistful of nose bar. And there you go. There you have it with TE. So we've showed you how quiet Grange Over Sands can get on a really, really quiet night when the roads are shut. It's normally quiet in Grange, I must admit, it is quiet, but not that quiet. There's nothing on the roads. We've seen an old Escort, Rover 75, where TE does scrub-a-dub-dub, a station garage. We've been up to the clock tower, talked about various places, talked about the banks and why we have no banks in Grange Over Sands and how it's affected Grange Over Sands. and it's very windy tonight. It's we've got a bit of a I won't say a storm because it can get more blustery than this. This is mild. This is to Grange Over Sands. It's actually because the sea is quite, at the moment the channel's not near Grange Over Sands. The channel's way out in the bay, but the tide is in further across the bay, and it's actually bringing the wind in with it up past Easham, past Morecambe, up into the estuary. So that's why it's a bit windier than normal. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, it's getting up. But it's very mild. It's normally a lot. When it's windy around here, you know it's really windy, and it shakes the house, and all the house, it creaks and all sorts. Anyway, if you really enjoyed today's video, give me a comment below. Always give me a comment. Sounds Hall, I told you to leave me a comment on that, and I got 15 comments. What was top notch with TE, always do that. 15 is the goal underneath, or maybe more. And give me a big fat like, or even a down like, even if you didn't like it, but give us a like anyway. And give us a subscribe, because we're well at 1400, well past 1480 we are now. Oh, big wagon now, something going past. And remember it's going to be a great echo this, so remember to turn your headphone users, be aware, or turn it up on your TV. Remember to click that big bell. Ding!